Viewers, how you going? It's been a long time since I've done one of these. Destiny Ridge. A bit of a ride and chat. So the hat's even gone flat from sitting flat on the table. So, but yeah, the amount of rain we've had, woo, everything is growing so fast. Look at the suckers coming up there. Anyway, I've got a blade now that can take them out. There's a little project that's happening. So don't forget to subscribe to get to see that come about. The storm we had the other night blew off these N2 solar panels. Nothing happened. They didn't break, thank goodness. But yeah, they got a bit of an issue happening with them. I've got to fix that up. That's another job, but that's all right. Jobs are jobs. Now, this is one little tea tree forest here. Paper barks. It goes back about 50 metres, I think. 50 metres or 100 metres. Full of wallabies and goannas and snakes and whatever. When it flowers, oh my goodness, it's just white. White flowers everywhere. And this block here, which is stage 2, you can see all the black wattle. You can also see the black wattle. It grows to about 20 metres and then it dies, just dies. See, there's some more. Anyway, so this is yellow jacket forest, and more yellow jackets, and yeah, there's a nice gum, bloodwood in there, nice little bloodwood. Got nice big spotted gums, ironbarks. Oh, hey, you two, don't jump out. This, when about 30 years ago, this, you can see that it's very flat. Well, it used to be a wheat field, and these humps here, these humps were put together, and there's a fair few of them. That's where they put the old stumps and everything, and rocks, so that they could farm around them. And look, see, there's another one just there, a little one, a littler one. And they go across every couple of 100 metres, you'll find one. Anyway, back in 1980s and 90s, this was a wheat field. So, this can all be cleared according to the environmental study. Now, we're not going to clear everything, but the old, these black wattles, we're going to clear that and go back up into there about 200 metres. We're going to get a couple of dozers, and we're going to, oh, there they go. We're going to clear that, and so we can run goats, cattle, sheep, pigs, whatever we want to. We can, with the new environmental laws coming in on the 1st of July next year, we can't even clear this. So, not that I would. Come on, get up. You don't just stand there going to, what do you want me to do? You're a dumb dog. He's a good dog. These two are babies. They're only not even a year old yet. Pretty close, but not yet. So that tea tree forest comes right down here, from right up there. It comes out here, goes across there up to the 3rd dam, and around the 3rd dam. I don't want to touch any of that. I reckon that's good breeding zones for dingoes and wallabies and things like that. So you can see it's starting ironbarks coming through here. The grass isn't very prevalent because there's so many trees. You can see it off into there. Now there, bull oaks, and bull oaks there, and here. Now, there's a very large swathe of bull oaks. See all of these. And I like that. Apparently bull oak's one of the hardest timbers you can try and work with. I don't know. I don't work with timbers, but these ironbarks and things, if we do any clearing down here, I want to try and save ironbark stands like that. There's an old dead one. You know, old dead trees I've got used to. They help the animals breed. And that's not a dead one, but that one is. And I think there's another one over there and a few more down there. Over there's a couple of dead ones and lots of bull oaks. You can see the pine needles on the ground. Oh, is that I thought it was an echidna. There is an echidna working around down here. Oh, don't. What did you see, little one? Hey? What did you see? The same as me. Yeah? He's very good at picking up goannas. He chases them, and when he gets near them, he goes, uh-oh, I've caught it. What do I do now? The goanna goes up a tree, and he comes back going, look, I chased it. Poor little buggers. Mind you, some of the goannas around here are 2 metres long, or 8 foot. Very big. That's about the maximum they can grow. And you can see the holes in the side of that ant nest. Means that there is ant echidnas around here. I think you'll find a little video on my channel where I found one on a road up the back, and it was just trundling along. The dogs didn't worry it. It didn't worry about the dogs either. It knows that dogs can't attack it. Well, they can, but they'll end up with needles all over them. Anyway, so there's about 300 acres from here going up to the back fence, about 1 kilometre to the back fence. You gonna jump? Gonna run? Okay, go. They love to run. I love to give them a bit of a run. Down here, this little stand of bull oaks is where the dingoes leave their messages. I call it dingo Twitter. Dingoes leave a message and these guys come along and rub it out and put a new one in. So you can see the bull oaks up in there. All this is going to be cleared, except, you know, there'll be ones like this here, the yellow jacket. Hey, why are you in the back? What's going on there, young fella? I don't know. Anyway, now he wants to hang his head out the side here. But going up into there, there's a few big stands of pine, cypress pine, spotted gum, ironbark. Oh, there's plenty of trees on the ground, but you know, there's plenty of animals need that sort of thing to breed in, so I leave them. Hasn't had fire come through here for about 35 years. I don't know how that will go in the future, because I want to run goats in here and they'll clean up all underneath. They'll clean up underneath the tree line. There's the dam down there, which needs to be, oh wait, I'll go this way, which needs to be dredged, because all of this sand that comes down here goes into the dam. Now you can see the big branch over there. Well, the other day we had a bit of a wind storm, not much rain, and it went north, south, east, west, and I come down here and that limb was off the tree. So park down here. Look at that old beaut. That is really old. It's in its last throes. There's plenty of big ones around here. But this is going to be a hay field once I clear it. Got heaps of these little pines. Well, that's pines I'm talking about. Oh, looks like the neighbour's tree got hurt the other day too with the wind. Plenty of gums. Yeah, so plenty of big gums here. I'll leave them maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. See, this one here is all out in flower. Heaps of bees over it. You can just see the bees. I don't know if you can hear them. No, you can't hear them. Not that many, I suppose, but all the gums around here are flowering for the second time. Come on, get back up in here. Thank you. It's getting a bit crowded on here, young fella. There's two of you up here with me. Old dead trees. Well, someone tried to cut that down many years ago without success. Pretty thick there, but the dozer will take care of it and clean it all up, burn what's left. Then I got lots of raking and ploughing and all that sort of stuff to get the soil ready to plant the fodder in. So, and this is downhill from my place up there. It's about 10 metres below the house on the top. And I'm going to run water down here with 1.5 inches, fill up a tank, and well, if I need to, I'll irrigate out of it. Big tank. So there's the neighbour's place. Looking good. This here can all be cleared. Right across it's about 80 acres can be cleared here. Literally down to no trees at all, but I want to keep the trees. Hold the odd tree, the big ones, so I can bring the animals down here for feed. But yeah, look, this is why sometimes I sound like I've got a cold. It's just pure pollen around here. Look, there's the neighbour's tree. It's out in flower. Everything's out in flower. Look, you can see it going up the hill here. So what happens is they stop flowering, then all these little shrubs start flowering. Look, there's one starting to flower now. So I've been thinking about putting some bees in. Maybe 2, maybe 4 hives. I don't know. Look at all the flowers up there. They flower all year round, my trees. They seem to. They'll be back flowering again in February. So when they're not flowering, well, all the ones flower. There's always flowering, something flowering on this property. Oh. So this is up the top. Thinking, oh, that's a really old. There's heaps of vine barks down there. Heaps of vine barks there. Really old ones, young ones. Heaps and heaps of vine barks down through there. Down over this side, I wouldn't mind putting a 2-acre pig paddock in for growing pigs. I think that'll be all right. More flowers, more trees flowering. Anyway, so the boundary's about 100 metres that way, 150 metres I said, this was all wheat here that they used to harvest back in the 80s and 90s. This is going to be the goat paddock over here. We're just about ready to put the star pickets in. Then we'll roll out the mesh, put the top barbed wire on, and we'll be done. So yeah, there's a little dam down there. There's a video on about cleaning that one out. Well, it's full. It's completely full. That's the tree I saw the koala in. Heaps of spotted gums, you can see that. This one here is at 45 degrees. This is the road. As you can see, plenty of little ironbarks, plenty of spotted gum. This one here got hit by a dozer once, I think. There's a dead tree over next to the dam that cockatoos breed in. Always letting me know when there's a big goanna around, or a snake. They seem to like that. So this is the neighbour's place over here. But I'm just giving the dogs a little bit more of a run. They love to run. So the main power line here runs down through there. But another reason why I wanted to come down here. Look at all the grass trees. There's one. There's 5, 6, 8 grass trees there, and one's flowering, or it's got the seed pod still on it. Yeah, there's a bigger one. So look, see heap there. The road got washed out a little bit. We've had about 4 inches of rain in the last 3 or 4 weeks, about an inch a week. Some of them have been just nice and easy soak-in rain, and some of the storms have been a bit torrential, only last about 20 minutes or half an hour, and we've got an inch of rain, so it flows fairly quick. And yeah, beautiful drive down through here, lovely pines. When it rains, the smell coming from this side is wonderful. So I have no requirement to buy a Christmas tree. There's just heaps of them, hundreds of them. What I do is I come down here and I just check, make sure. Tracks back there, but I don't want to let the dogs out because the tracks are goannas. Well, do a U-turn. No one's been in there. That's good. I'll just check the gate. Make sure the gates have been okay. Now where did I see those tracks? There's one. Look at that. See that? You can see the feet. One there and one there. That's a goanna. Fairly large one. You can see all the foot marks. There's 2 of them, see? So yeah, it's always something interesting out here. Always. It's I don't know, maybe 25 degrees. 26, or if it's 30, you always get a cool breeze. There's always a lovely breeze here. You can see the trees moving, and it lowers the temperature down so that you don't feel like extra hot. Don't get me wrong, it gets hot out here, it gets up to 40, 45 in summer. We had a 39 the other day, but as I said, you always get a nice breeze, and I always take the dogs for a bit of a swim to cool off. They love it. That back dam that I showed you before, always a good time for them down there. But anyway, so I'm loving the day. It's beautiful. Not even a cloud. Not even a cloud. So there's a beautiful big stand of trees on this side. That's on the neighbour's place. That's over in there. That's just beautiful. That's where you'll find the koalas and stuff up in there, I would imagine. Lots of food, koala food here. If I knew that the dingoes were going to be calm enough, I'd take rescue koalas and, well, they'd live here forever. They would never be put out. Never. Nothing's going to pull these trees down, not while I'm here anyway. So, this is the other side of the goat paddock. I might have to spray all that purple stuff yet, or dig it up, one of the two. And give you an idea how far across it is to the other side. You can't get the little bushes, which the goats will eat shortly, are getting big enough that I can't see the other side. But if I pull up here, you can see some. That's 200 metres from here there, but then there's another 200 metres from there to the next one up past that. And that's roughly where the house is up there, so about 400 metres across there. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying we've got to clear this. This is black wattle, and this is black wattle. Very, very intensive. It just breeds unbelievably. So, and everybody knows 1 year of seeds is 7 years of weeds. So these two trees will stay, the dead one will go, all of these old dead black wattles, they'll go. There's a different tree in there, you can see I think it's a stringy bark. It'll stay, but lots of big trees in here, they'll stay. Just these little ones, and the two dozers will just drag a chain behind it. Then I'll plant some grasses in there. Now there's probably only 5 or 10 little wallabies in here. There is some paddy melons, which I'm going to have to make sure they're out the way. See, there's another one of those little hills, little dirt mounds from the wheat farmer. But hey, the goats can stand on top of them, I don't care. As long as they're not next to the fence. We don't want them jumping over the fence. So, as we come through here, this is stage 2. Got to do the fencing for stage 1 first, and this will be the fencing for stage 2. There's another one of those little mounds. Here's another one of those little mounds. This is going towards the back. We've got about a 1.5 kilometre drive to the back. So you can see that there's a big mound in there. But you can see it's fairly open, bar these black wattles. So the black wattles will get done. There's another one of those mounds. You can see through there. This is going to be where my son wants to live down in here, and he wants to put some cattle in. So he's going to have between 50 and 100 acres to play with. See, look at the size of that big one. Lots of trees and stumps and stuff in there, rocks. So these old black wattles will go. I think this is about from here on, I can't clear as much. I can only selectively clear. I need to put fire brakes in and some access tracks I need to put in so that I can get to any fires that may occur from storms or whatever. You can see how messy it is when these black wattles fall over after 20 years. This is what happens, like on the road here. So I'm going to bring the tractor down here and push it off the road. But yeah, trees like that, see, you don't knock down those ones. And this stand here is mostly it's not black wattle. So yeah, that's a little access track back there. You can see through. Now it's 1.5 kilometres from here to the other side, about a mile. About a mile to the other side, or 1.5 kilometres, 1.3 kilometres, something like that. That's a long way when you're walking through that sort of stuff through here. Now we don't get many big kangaroos over this side because they can't really get any speed in between these little trees here. And if a dingo pack were to come along, well, big kangaroos would have to get out of the road pretty quick, whereas little wallabies that are only 2 foot high, they can duck and weave in between all of them. There's another access track I pushed, but yeah, it's pretty wooded, and I've been thinking maybe up this end, up around here, so you can see in through all the trees. It's pretty open in there, but I can put in, I know somebody who wants to live off grid, collect their own water, compost their own toilet, make their own electricity. Maybe they want to set up shop. Just a thought, you know. So we are 35 minutes from town, so it's not close. You can't walk it, well you can walk it down if you want. You'd get hit by semi-trailers and road trains and cattle trucks and whatever. You wouldn't want it. You wouldn't want it. You wouldn't want it. So now up in here, up over there, is the quarry they used to build the main road into this whole place. Now this old tree has got one of these bulb things on the bottom. I know woodworkers like them, and this is my, what I call the enchanted forest, pines. It goes in there it's about 30 acres of pines up in there, 35 acres. Goes back about 100 metres or 150 metres, and it's about 200 or 300 metres long, and smells awesome. Pines smell wonderful, especially when it's either hot or wet. Now don't you jump out, no. Hey, no. The reason why is over there, see, look at the little white flower. Over there somewhere is a bush that puts little tiny prickles into their fur, and they're like, they're sharp little horrible like bindies. anybody that lives in Australia that knows anything about bindies, oh, you don't want that in your foot, you don't want it in your leg, you don't want it in your shirt. They're awful. So, but yeah, so this is all going to stay. I'm not going to pull any of this. He is so attentive. You know why? Because he knows that there's goannas in there. He knows that there is. So this old tree here, it's getting pretty dangerous. It's starting to drop on the ground. Might have to push it over just for safety. So, but yeah, black wattle. This stuff here, black wattle. These little tiny trees here. Good. I think goats eat them. I'm pretty sure they do. If not, I've got a lot of ploughing to do before I get any goats. And see, there's she oaks in there. I don't want to touch she oaks. She oaks are a bit special. They we don't have many on this block. So you can see that black wattle is just not a curse, but it's a big block of the amount of trees that I've got. So there's 640 acres here, and I take up about 25 acres with the first goat paddock, and the rest of it, well, that's for nature. I love nature. Don't get me wrong. The amount of, I've got 2 or 3 different types of wallabies here. I've got one with a little pom-pom on the end of their tail. I've got swamp wallabies, which come for a bit of bread every night. We do have kangaroos, but they mainly come from the neighbour's place, and they mainly feast on the verges here. So yeah, you can see down in there, that's a bit of a push down. Yes, little ones, I'm going to have to come up here with the tractor and take this one out, so I don't have to keep driving around it. But yeah, look, flowers everywhere. 640 acres of flowers, mate. That's what I got. And the greenies, the parrots love them. They love the flowers. Most nights it's pretty noisy around here with the screeching of the parrots. So, other than that, Sonny likes it, don't you, Sonny? Sonny, you're a good boy. Molly, oh, good girl. Rocket, 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 Rocket. Good boy. Up in the second stage, which is up in there, it opens right out like a park up in there. So you got a few trees around, but you got big open areas, and I like that. I like that. So in fact, I'm going to stop and I'm going to put the. You gotta love it, don't you? All right. So I haven't used the drone for a while. I apologise for. How can I put it? Not being very proficient with the drone as much as I could be. So what you're going to see is that that's heading back towards the back gate, and yeah, it goes back about 1.5 kilometres. So it looks a bit dry there, but there's actually a lot of green grass. But it hasn't been burnt for a long time, so you see a lot of dry grass in there as well, which isn't good for animals and things like that. So that all has to be either burnt out or it has to be taken out when we take those thousands of black wattles down, and we'll be able to open that right up, and we can seed it and put some good grass in there, which will be a good area for some cows. I think that's where the cows are going to go in the future. You can see the little road that goes down to the bottom dam, and you can see there's a lot of open areas, but it hasn't been worked for a long time. So the grass in there, most of it's spear grass, which isn't very good, but we'll get rid of that and we'll put some Rhodes grass or something like that in, or some other sorts of grass that will feed the cattle no problems. We get enough rain out here to grow grass, but we are going to have a hay field down the bottom there to subsidise feed for the animals. The top right is the third dam. It's mostly silted up with sand, needs to be dredged. Lots of dingoes seem to breed around there. In the you can see the tea trees, they're a different type of tree there. So from here back, you can see the we're coming in the middle. You can see a road that heads back towards the front. I'm just doing a bit of a flyover because we want to have a look and see what the tree density is in this area. You can see the difference between the trees at the back and the trees where the old wheat field was. But yeah, so there's the house. There's part one. You can see where it's been cleared. Part two's directly underneath us now, and that'll be fenced off as part two when we get more goats. And with the grass that we'll plant, we may also have some sheep, meat sheep. So that'll be good. And so sorry, I'm a bit rough with the drone. I haven't used the drone for some months, and it can be a little tricky when you haven't played with it for long. It's a little DJI Mini Pro 3 is the drone. So you can see how it opens up a fair bit in part two, and I think it'll be great for goats down in there. We'll pull it all with the dozers and lay it all flat. Then I'll pick it up and I'll stack it either with the little dozer or with the excavator, and we can fence it and we can go from there. Now, section 1 will have proper exclusion fencing. Not sure we'll have if we'll put proper exclusion fencing on part 2 that you can see there, because every night I might put them away in part 1 to keep them safe. So there's the house, and I don't know why it stopped. Anyway, so stop. Yeah, so I think the goats will come back every night. For water, the water won't be in this part here. They'll need to walk 100 metres to get to the trough, where I'm going to put catch points in, and they can walk in, but they won't be able to walk back out. Well, there you go. It's a bit of a fly around of stage 2 of the goat paddock. You can see right up the road. I didn't go right up the road. You're going to go too high with the drone because you're nearly 2 kilometres away to still get good reception. Because all the trees block the signal. So you can see that you can see from one side of the property to the other. It's a long way, and when I go to clear down the back and clear here, I'll take some more footage and show you guys. But anyway, I hope you can see that pretty open there. It looks pretty dead from on top, like a desert, but you can see that it's not. It's actually got lots of grass, but it hasn't been burned for 35 years. And any Australian that knows anything about the nature of grasses in Australia and trees in Australia, you need to burn them for them to propagate properly and to look after the bush. So, but you can also see in that vision where I've already cleared the first stage next to the house up the top. So, there's another one of those lumps. Nice big tree. It's got a crow's nest up the top there. Oh, the little ones are out and running. What do you see? Come on, back in, quick. Come on. Good boy. So yeah, all these bottles have to go. There's a stringy bark there that's flowering. I'm not touching anything on this side, but I think I'd clear it a little tiny bit, and maybe that's where the beehives would go in there. A bit out of the wind, got shade, they're protected a little bit from storms. Yeah, that's where I'd put them in there. So with all this over here, even though you've got a little bit of good black wattle, and you've got all of this, it doesn't flower very long. So it does flower, but it doesn't flower like these trees up here. But other than that, that's the look. I'm going to put that one solar panel back on. But other than that, it's a bit of a run around. Oop. Dogs are off to go and get a drink. Yeah, good on them. These containers have to be pulled out the way and down into there and set up so that I can put a roof over the top with some of the steel to protect the goats and collect some water. It's the main thing out here. You've got to have water, you've got to have food, you've got to have electricity. Well, there's one water down there, the bore. Now that has fresh water in it. It's got less than 600 milligrams, I'm going to say milligrams of salt, and so it's not salty. It's got a little bit of salt in it, but it's not very salty. You need a 1,000 milligrams to start the salt count. So, but other than that has bore water pipe to there. Then I pipe it out and I actually water thing. There's my welding glove. either this one or the other one. Hey, come on. Oh, you want to nurse? Okay. All right. This one. She pulled it apart. So I got to buy a new pair of welding gloves. Anyway, getting back to this. There's a pipe that goes down and around and over to the goat paddock, and it's going to be the water feed for the goats. Anyway, so that's him. Go and have a great day. Don't forget to love yourself. Love yourself, because no one else will, as much as you can. Think about, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't do. So, love yourself, look after your mates, because your mates will look after you if you do. Let Jesus lead you, because look how good the day is, mate. Look, no clouds, beautiful breeze. Look, you can see the wind. Oh, it's wonderful. Comes across that paddock over there. At the minute it's carrying a lot of pollen, but it smells good. Might give you the odd headache or a bit of sinus, but you put up with that. So yeah, let Jesus lead you, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Ring the little bell for notifications. See you next time.